What up, Baguette here? Yeah, all that. The only person you can ever really rely on is yourself. You know, like I think a lot of people, they were like lucky growing up and they had parents to rely on. And I kind of hate that I always end up like trauma dumping on here, but that's my parents are what taught me most of my life lessons. But really, ultimately, even if you have parents that you could rely on or some family member along those lines, they're going to die, you know? And we're going to die one day. So all the people that rely on us, if anyone does rely on you, you're going to die. And you're going to leave them defenseless, most likely. So, but there's a problem with the human condition. So, like, in today's society, right, you can basically survive without talking to anyone. Yeah, you can just go to your job, get money, go rent a room or rent a place, don't talk to anyone, don't have anyone on your phone. You could survive without having friends. Like years ago, if we were still in tribal times or Stone Age, all that shit, we'd need a community to survive. But now we become so disconnected from our human nature that we can now survive without talking to people. Not saying you'll be in the slightest bit happy if you go down the whole extreme loner disconnected route. I don't think you'd be happy at all, but that's my personal opinion, and probably science can back that up. But it is possible. And the reason I am saying this is because a lot of people, they are very reliant on other people. Most people nowadays, they are desperate for people to approve of them. And they are, especially teenagers, you know, they find so many things embarrassing. You know, like, at the end of the day, I wouldn't necessarily go out my way to, like, be weird, but if I am viewed as weird, who gives a fuck? Like, gently, if you don't pay my bills, pay my credit, pay for me to get my nails done, or make me in the slightest bit happy when I see you or hear your name, why the fuck does, like, why would what you think of me matter? Like, gently, I think, of course, within reason, there is people you should care about, preferably, and just, like, yeah, you should have a social circle if possible, but, like, why would I care about what some random person in my school thinks about me? Like, so this girl hates me, but she's never even talked to me. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm so... Oh, however will I survive? But on the more serious note, right? If you had the privilege of having parents who took care of your physical needs, your psychological needs, and basically they did a half decent job of raising you with the resources they had, and they showed you love and warmth and affection, right? If they showed you all of that, be very grateful you had that at one point in your life. But the older you get, the less they'll be able to help you. They'll be aging. You know, you will have a new set of problems. But the set of your problems is now all the problems you have, not someone else can't solve that for you. You know, like someone else can't tell you what career path you want to go. Someone else, they can't really pay your bills in this economy. They can't find you like a romantic partner if that's what you want. Well, arranged marriages, but like it's 2025 and we're kind of in the West, so like I doubt many of those happen. See, you're probably gonna have kids. You know, it's very likely you will have kids. Like statistically speaking, you probably will have kids eventually, and you will die. And you're gonna leave them on this earth, and you better hope you taught them well enough so they can go fend for themselves. From someone who's had to be self-sufficient from such a young age, I think it scares people how little I need them. You know, I think especially adults. Like, I do want friends, and I do need friends, and or whatnot, but it's like, I think a lot of people, they get a sense of meaning of life and a sense of fulfillment through you needing them, you know? And when I encounter those people, they're not really my biggest fan. They normally suffer from codependency in childhood and people pleasing, all those. Those people aren't really the most fun to me because, like, I don't need you. And I don't, like, if you're gonna be needy, I'm very avoidant. We won't get on. Like, I wouldn't recommend being like me either in this aspect of my life. Like, socially, I am really avoidant. Like, social interactions and me, it depends on what day you catch me. Like, sometimes I'm my really bubbly, happy self, and then other times I'm just like my mellowed out, dead inside self. And it's like, both have a place, but it's like, both have a place, but it depends on the person I'm around and which one gets brought out of me. Like, if I'm comfortable enough with someone, they can go. I call it the pit bull and the golden retriever. Like, the golden retriever is who I'm meant to be, the fucking smiley idiot, and the pit bull is like, if you fuck with me, I'm gonna like eat your throat and like claw you. Well, my pit bull impression wasn't good, but like, if you ever catch me as the pit bull, you caught me as the pit bull. I think in a sense maybe it's not a good thing how self-sufficient I am, because like I feel like the reason I'm scared to trust people, like trusting people, it really scares me. Like, it's terrifying and it triggers me, and it's like all the past trauma I've experienced, it's just I'm being self-sufficient and independent out of a sense of fear, not out of a sense of happiness. But the problem is, my sense of happiness and my sense of independence are nearly intertwined. So if I'm dependent on someone, I'm not happy at all. I am pissed off. And I am just like thinking of all the ways possible, how do I get my independence back? You know? And I feel like if I was 18, people would respect that, like, way, way more. But just the fact I'm legally 16, it's like people treat me as a joke. So, like, even though the fact I've taken care of myself since the age of fucking 7, and even though the fact I'm better able to take care of myself, and then both my parents can take care of themselves and their fucking kids, you know? And it's like, even though they're like 50, 45, whatever, just because I'm legally not the age to be an adult and act like an adult, I'm suddenly this incompetent fucker, yeah, who like doesn't know how to do anything. Oh my god. I think laws, they're very crooked. I think overall the way society is as a whole is very crooked, you know. And I feel like sometimes I wish I didn't know everything I did about society, because it's just like, when you realize how fucked it up it is, it's like, you can't really ever live the same, and you can't ever look at anything the same, and then you're surrounded by people who still don't realize they're just a cog in the system, and they don't realize all the false society, and they don't realize that the government or none of that, like, they don't care about you. Like, Ginny, they don't care about you. Like, I'm not really one of these conspiracy theory people at all, but it's like, if you think the legal system is on your side, you are a fool. Like, Jenny, if you think the laws are made to benefit you, you're a fool. If you think your job cares about you, you're a fool. You know? But I wish I was a fool, because I'd probably be a lot better off. Legally, with all the abuse I suffered at the hands of my mother, she's most likely legally gonna get away with it. It's been a year since I haven't lived with my mum or whatnot, and it's like, she did all that to me, and nothing will ever get done about it, you know? And I know damn well, if I went for a sense of revenge and I went to kill her, or even if I went to beat her up, I would face legal repercussions. And I think the only person I can rely on was myself. I can't rely on the legal system. I can't rely on adults. I can't rely on anyone else. I need other people to make me happy, and I need other people to talk to occasionally. Maybe every day, to be honest. Like, I do. I really need my friends. I really need them, but the less I'm dependent on people, the more happy I am. You know? And it's like, I'm honestly counting down the days till 18 because that's when my life will actually start. You know? Right now, this isn't even, what I'm living right now isn't really a fucking life. Sure, there's a couple of glimpses of happiness and stuff like that, but this is shocking, you know? And I wouldn't wish anything that had happened to me, or even the life I have right now, on my worst fucking enemy. And I don't, you know, generally, I feel like if a lot of you saw how cruel the world is and how fucking evil people are, you know, like if you've never met someone you think is evil, consider yourself lucky. Like, oh, and it's got deep. And it's got really deep. Their hyper independence can come from a place of pain and trauma, and this can be toxic, and that's probably what I'd fall under, if I'm going to be brutally honest, because I need to be hyper independent because I can't trust anyone. But what I will say is, in this current society we live on, be as independent as possible, but sort out your shit if you have any trauma, all that, so you can be dependent on the people. Because how fucked up the economy is, if your parents treated you good, them as a lifeline, that will probably save you from homelessness if your cars go wrong, you know. See, the human mind is only made to deal with so much, you know. So if you've been through a lot and if you're hyper independent as a coping mechanism and as a way to basically portray your trust issues, there might eventually be a point where a bad day happens, and that's the day you crack. And now all your outer mask of being this hyper independent, strong person, it breaks. And then the reality hits. I'm just a weak child, you know? And now you are after, like, releasing all these fucking traumatic events, and you know, you start remembering it, start connecting with your trauma, like hidden away trauma, and then you don't know how to cope anymore, you know, and you cut off everyone around you, and you cut off everyone you can rely on, and now you're in this situation where you need help from others, but you have no one to help you, you know, and it's you get the irony in it. It's kind of a mirror, you know. When you needed someone to help you when you were a child, no one was there, you know? And then, as a way to try to avoid that happening, that might end up happening again, except you're now an adult, so you'll even get less sympathy, you know? I think half the stuff I say is just me projecting, you know? Maybe I probably should rely on people more, but the thing is I'm not. If I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to rely on people anymore. I don't trust them. I don't trust people at all. You know, someone has to do a lot of stuff to make me trust them, you know, and even if I do trust them, I can only trust them with certain sides of me, you know, like even, I think the reason I'm able to talk so freely like this is because there's such a disconnect, because I'm talking to my fucking phone, you know. I feel like if there was actually someone in front of me right now that probably wasn't like a clinical therapist or psychologist or whatever, counselor or whatever, I probably wouldn't be this open. And if I were to be this open, they'd probably have to, like, a friend or whatnot, or romantic partner, whatever the fuck they are. They'd probably have to know me for a good couple of years, you know? And sometimes, and all the times, it's so hard to find someone who has the maturity to deal with the shit that I talk about, because at the end of the day, I'm just 16. Even though I don't act like it, I probably look like it, but yeah, sad stuff. John, I think this is my cue to go. I think made myself sad enough for the day. Probably gonna fuck into bed. Bye. Oh my god, my life. See, I did smile. That's my golden retriever. But people like the pip.